I think the Bhootni soundtrack is very original. We haven't recycled anything in that. And every song is based on some scene in the film. So everything that we made is, right from scratch. No recycling, no 2.0, no remixes. So that's how we approach the soundtrack with a fresh approach.
Icon, we just want to know that mixing horror and comedy in a music is making both
He wants.
genres sound like a joke.
That's upside.
Oh, sorry.
Fine. You
can
keep doing that.
can you repeat it?
Does mixing horror and comedy in a music in music risk making both genres sound like a joke?
I personally don't think so. I think every genre has its own place, but it was actually fun trying to mix both the genres, for this movie, and I think the soundtrack came out pretty decent, and yeah.
Yeah.
We just want to know from both of you that with such strong individual careers, how did ego play out in their collaboration? Was there creative friction?
Yes.
Very
We
much.
fought every day. Every day was a fight, and it's a miracle that we're both alive. Otherwise we would have just killed each other. That's just a joke. Yeah. Oh, sorry. But yeah, it was very like meditative, and we've worked together for so long. Like almost like 10 years we've been doing this like together, and I always look up to him. Like he's far more superior in sound and everything. So I don't mind reaching out to him. Ki yaar, just help me out.
I think we both have our strong suits, and we complemented each other like really well for this project.
Yes.
You have both worked globally. Do you think Bollywood still lags behind in respecting music producers creatively and financially?
I think he's more global, so you should answer this.
I think Bollywood has come really far in terms of the sonics of how the music sounds these days. Maybe 5-10 years ago it was different, but I feel like Bollywood is catching up really quick, and it's actually a great feeling to see that. Coming from like I live in Los Angeles, like I hear that kind of music every day, so listening to that now on the radio in Mumbai is a great feeling.
In a film driven by star power like Bhootni, is music just a background element or does it actually drive the narrative?
It's definitely driving narrative for the movie. Like Iconic said, like every song that we did is somehow plays out in the movie for a certain sentiment and emotion. So, and obviously we're honored to work with like Sanjay Dutt sir, like Sunny, Palak, like the Moni, beautiful like star cast.
Yeah.
So, and they like really like played off our chemistry, and how the music was incorporated in them.
Narrative wise, I feel like so the songs are not just songs. Like for example, Nakhre is Moni Roy's introduction track in the film. Like that's how she gets introduced. Aire Baba is Sanjay Dutt's entry song in the film. So it feels like we truly drove the narrative with that one.
Some critics feel fusion music is just a marketing term now.
Huh.
So do you agree that it's becoming more style than substance?
Luckily, we haven't received any bad reviews about the music so far. I mean, they have said a lot of things about the film, but yes, music is definitely a great marketing tool for any film, but not the only criteria for the success of a film. Like there are so many other factors that depend on the success. But yes, with our film, the music did play a very important role.
Horror comedy isn't exactly known for iconic music. So were you creatively excited by this genre or was it just another take?
Uh, we were excited by this genre because it's like one of our closest friends, like Siddhant Sachdev, who's also the director of the film. Like we know him for like 15 years or so. So it was his story and it was his passion and the fact that we know each other for so long. So there was always excitement to like collaborate and come like we worked on his first short film back in like 2008. So to do this now is like a full circle moment. So that was the excitement for this film, actually, to be very honest with you.
Uh, does success on platforms like Spotify and BBC Radio create pressure to play safe when composing for mass Bollywood audience?
Not entirely. I feel like people want to hear fresh stuff as well now. Like, it's not just about traditional Bollywood music. So we took some chances, and I think people like the music. So yeah.
A lot of new age composers rely heavily on software and presets. So how much of Bhootni was made in the box while versus using live elements?
It was a bit of both. We were working on like tight deadlines and stuff. So like sometimes we made songs on an airplane. You cannot really play the guitar on an airplane, so we had to rely on in the box elements for it. But a lot of the other stuff was actually hardware synths. Mixed with like guitars, like live guitars, live elements. So I think it was a good 50-50.
A lot of new age composers rely heavily on software and
You already asked this one, right?
in the world obsessed with algorithms and virality, is there still space for emotional, risky and unconventional soundtracks in mainstream Indian cinema?
I feel like you have to sound different for people to see who it is. Like if you just get lost in the crowd with the same sound, no one will really acknowledge or notice your talent, so to speak.
I feel like there is only space for the emotional and the other kind of stuff, because everything else just sounds the same. So why do you want to be the same? Like that's what we feel.
For Upside Down, you are both instrumental in the modern
Yeah,
Punjabi
that's me.
music wave. So
Sorry.
do you think Bollywood still underestimates non-filmy independent music?
Not anymore. I feel like a lot of independent tracks are even like getting picked up from on to be on featured in movies, and this is like a wave that we started 10 years ago now, where we were doing like a lot of like independent Punjabi music, and people seem to like that a lot and have adapted to that style, even in Bollywood. So I'm happy to see that.
So what about you?
Sorry, what was the question?
You are both instrumental in modern Punjabi music.
Oh yes.
So do you think Bollywood still underestimate non-filmy independent music?
No. I feel like right now Bollywood is taking a lot of Punjabi music. Like if you see like, Vicky's film Tauba Tauba, and Diljit and Karan Aujla, like so many. They are just. I feel like there's no distinction anymore. Like pop music is film music. Like non-Bollywood music somehow ends up being featured in a Bollywood film. So I think Bollywood is picking a lot from non-film music. Because that's what people like to listen to these days.
Some critics feel fusion music is becoming formulaic beats, drops, desi vocals. How do you respond to that?
I feel like music should make you feel good. If that makes you feel good, then by all means do it.
What about you?
I love fusion music, so like I think that's what we've done all our lives. So I don't really think, and I think if it was so bad, then people would not be listening to it, like all the time.
So with over a billion dreams, do numbers still excite you creatively, or you have become more strategic than artistic?
No, I think I'm still are more artistic than strategic. It's a good feeling when a lot of people appreciate your talent, but that shouldn't be a factor for you to like not make music or not make something that you like, yourself. So yeah, it's just a good thing, but it's not the only factor that drives what I make or what we make together.
Yeah, I think streams is just a number, man.
Iconic, so we just want to know that for rich cinematic scores, how do you balance horror and comedy in a single soundtrack with sounding confused?
It's a very big challenge, to be honest. That's why it's taken almost 4 years to do it. But I think the main focus should be to fulfill the necessity of the scene. Like, we were just trying to make something that was just groovy, rhythmic and cinematic. Like we did not focus too much we have to make it horror or we have to make it comic. we just played it directly to the scene. Like whatever was on the screen, we thought this should be the music. For example, like there's like Sanjay sir's entry scene. So there's like a beat and everything, and when the ghosts come on the screen, that's why we tried to add some comic element. So it was very like exactly to the scene. That's how we played it.
You have worked with Grammy-winning producers. Was the Bollywood studio system more restricted than international projects?
Absolutely, yes. But there is a kind of freedom in both. I think there is a big uh, chain of people in Bollywood that have to approve your music than international. It's very feeling based internationally, so it's much easier to work abroad. But I feel like it's getting simpler to work in Bollywood also.
Some say Bollywood horror is stuck in cliches. Did Bhootni push you to break any sound design stereotypes?
Yeah, we actually did a lot of cool and creative things with the soundtrack. We actually sampled. Growing up, Vasa was one of our favorite movies.
Yes.
And there's a part in Sanjay sir's entry song where we sampled his laugh from the Vasa movie. And if you listen closely, you can still hear it. And it stirs some kind of emotion in me even today. So, that and like other cool elements that we played like on, hardware synthesizers and, live guitars and stuff. It was a fun project to work with for sure.
You have trained in Indian classical music. Do you feel pressure to Bollywood as your sound for mass appeal?
We haven't.
We haven't been trained, no.
We haven't.
Neither
been
of
trained,
us are-
but,
Neither of us are, I think, classically trained, but we just loved music since the beginning, like since we were kids. And we just started messing around with synthesizers and guitars, and, the rest is history.
Nowadays, there are a lot of talks about AI music. So, how good is it for the music directors or for the music composers to have it?
Well, we recently tried one of these AI models to, come up with ideas. I think it's at that stage right now. It's never going to replace musicians. It's a very feeling-based thing when you do music, and I don't think AI will replace emotion, at least in 2025, maybe in the future. But it's a good start. It's cool to get some ideas from AI that you may never have thought about. But I think that's where it's at currently.
So, what about you?
I feel it's a good reference. Like you can take a good reference from it, but I don't think like it can actually replace, like true human emotion, because you put your feeling in a song, but the AI cannot actually feel that. So the feeling, the love.
One more question I want to ask is that talking about nepotism, do you think that nepotism has come in music industry also?
Yes, I guess, because see, we got this film because of our friend who's a director. So this is straight nepotism, but no, just a joke. But like, I feel like if you're good enough, you'll be found. But yes, that's true that some people have like better chances at right from the start, of the thing, and I don't know what else to say about
I mean, I think it's more of a legacy thing. Like, say your parents are musicians, they work in the industry. You've seen people in the industry since you were a kid, so I think you have a better network. You may not have better talent, but if you're talented, like Iconyk said, the right people will find your music.
Okay, lastly, we have talked to some legendary music directors also. They found that today's music is not so good as it was used to be earlier. People are still remembering the songs of old songs and not the new ones. So what do you have to say about that?
I think it's every generation, yaar. It'll keep on going. Like, if you talk to your parents, they'll be like, "Arey, hamare zamane mein jo tha." If you talk to their parents, they'll be like, "Oh, hamare zamane mein," So I think it's very... but you have to get with the times, Like, if you keep making old music, nobody's going to listen to it. So I think to be in the present and make music for the present or the future is should be the goal.
Okay, and talking about remixes and reprise version, what do you have to say about that? Because there are many remixes and reprise versions which are not up to the marks of music composers of earlier times. Also, they feel bad about it that they tell that the young composers have ruined their songs. So, what do you
Yeah.
have to say about that?
There are some people who ruin the remixes and reprise versions, and
Yeah. I feel like it's a very perspective thing. There's some remixes and songs. There's some songs that I feel like that are too classic in their own era that I would not even personally touch them. But having said that, having a fresh perspective on something that's old, it's not a bad thing to do. Music there's only so many notes you can play, there's only so many chords you can play. It has to come back in a different way somehow. That is, and I feel like as a producer and even as an audience, you need to adapt to new things because, that's in the future. Like the past is the past. Let's leave that.
Being a new musical jodi, which one do you love earlier, from earlier times? Which one of the jodi you love as a music?
I actually love every single one of them.
my favorite is Vishal Shekhar.
Yeah, from Vishal Shekhar to Shankar Ahsan Loy, just legends. We just need one more person and, we'll be good.
And lastly, what message you have to give to your fans?
Just want to say thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you so much for listening to our music. Support means a lot. Your streams mean a lot to us. And, want to make sure we keep giving you good music throughout the years. And, thank you again.
What about me? Same thing. Just keep listening to our songs and make music. I just want to take this opportunity to encourage more artists to just keep dropping more music, release your music. Don't let it be in your hard drive. And also on a side note, thank you to all our soldiers who are fighting at the border. That's it. Thank you.